Hi, welcome to Jesus in Every Chapter. We're in Isaiah chapter 2. It shall come to pass in the latter days that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established as the highest of the mountains, and shall be lifted up above the hills, and all nations shall flow to it. Many people shall come and say, Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, that he may teach us his ways, and that we may walk in his paths. O house of Jacob, come, let us walk in the light of the Lord. Isaiah here is prophesying about a time when God's house will be the highest and the greatest amongst all the nations. And this, of course, is fulfilled in Jesus and in the kingdom of Jesus, who is the greatest kingdom of all the nations, the highest and most exalted of all the kingdoms. Of the increase of his government and authority there will be no end, Isaiah prophesies in another place. And so we are seeing the fulfillment of this prophecy that Jesus' kingdom is the highest, the house of God is being established as the highest amongst all the nations. Not only is it the highest, but Isaiah says all the nations will flow to it, they will come in to it. And we are seeing that as well as people from every nation, tribe and tongue flow into the kingdom, come to Jesus. And they're coming voluntarily in the sense that they are saying, come, let us go. No one's forcing them. It's not a political kingdom which is being enforced through war or through overtaking other nations. This is the greatest kingdom, full of the righteousness, peace, and joy of God, which Jesus brought in. And all those things cannot be found in any other kingdom, any other nation. Only in God's kingdom can we find God's ways. God's kingdom is the bringer of righteousness, peace, and joy to all the nations. And so all nations desire to come to it. They are desiring to be joined in this kingdom, Isaiah says. It says, and when they come, they say this, as we come to the house of the God of Jacob, he may teach us his ways, that we may walk in his paths. Notice that even Isaiah is prophesying here that God himself would have to teach us his ways. He will teach us his ways. Not any person or man or system, but God himself would have to teach us his ways. And this again is fulfilled in the person of Jesus. Jesus, who was God, took on human flesh and human form and came to show us God's ways, to teach us God's ways. If God himself in the person of Jesus had not come, we would not be able to walk in God's ways. And so Jesus himself said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And so again, this is fulfilled in the person of Jesus. He is the one who fulfilled all of God's ways perfectly and teaches us and enables us to walk in God's ways and to know God. It says he teaches us his ways that we might walk in his paths. O house of Jacob, come, let us walk in the light of the Lord. I want to encourage you to pursue Jesus, to desire to walk in his ways, knowing that he is the one who's gone ahead of you, who shows you how to walk in all of God's ways, that he took on human form and paid the ultimate price so that we might know God's ways and be able to walk in them. Come, let us walk in the light of the Lord. Thanks, be blessed.